made for this moment. We was made for this moment. We conquer obstacles, we seize opportunities, and y'all know, we proud, we kill, we eat.
Yes, sir.
Go!
Yes, sir.
All right, baby.
Here we go, baby.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
2021, Sean Payton's final season coaching as Saints head coach. While it was his worst season coaching as an NFL head coach, Sean showed how valuable of an offensive play caller and quarterback coach he really was. While he was just in the beginning process of elevating quarterback Jameis Winston's career, injury cut it short, and Sean Payton may have been forced to retire due to circumstances. New Orleans went on to have a 4-2 record while Winston threw for over 1,170 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions before tearing his knee during the 2021 NFL season. Free agent Marquez Callaway, Bills punt returner Deontay Hardy, and former Saint Traquan Smith were his receivers. Michael Thomas was also injured that year, but yet Sean Payton still managed to keep New Orleans in the game offensively every week in his worst year, cycling through quarterbacks like Trevor Siemian, Ian Book, and even having a 4-1 record with Taysom Hill starting at quarterback. Prior to 2021, New Orleans finished with the top-ranked offense 6 times and top 5 10 times while only having 2 years outside of the top 10, including 2021. But if we take note, Sean Payton has been exclusively New Orleans' offensive play caller since he took over in 2006, meaning since 2022, there has been a new play caller in New Orleans. While Pete Carmichael has been offensive coordinator for the Saints for over 15 years, this is only his second year that he's actually calling the shots. While only in year 2, he may not be able to withstand the pressures of his new role. Since taking over as New Orleans play caller in 2022, the lack of production and offensive struggles are noticeable. During the 2022 season, New Orleans ran the least amount of screens in the NFL, considering the reason running back Alvin Kamara is so well paid is because he is one of the league's best at catching passes out of the backfield. Let alone, Jameis Winston ended up getting benched for quarterback Andy Dalton, who didn't seem to have a higher ceiling than Jameis. Under Sean Payton, Winston was performing better than Dalton ever did for New Orleans. But yet, coaches and coordinators deduced to sit Jameis and ruin his confidence because he probably did not fit the offensive scheme that is still struggling even with quarterback Derek Carr. Kamara also seemed to have a more disappointing year, and it looked as if the Saints did not know how to utilize the Pro Bowl running back. Is it a coaching problem certain players get blamed for? During the 2023 season, Pete Carmichael's offensive coordinator and play calling position is in danger after the Saints not having scored over 18 points offensively until week 5. From going to an almost unpredictable offense to running 90% on first downs, there are too many stars on one offensive unit to be this lackluster. While Dennis Allen and the Saints decided to bench Jameis because he wasn't as consistent as Dalton but had the higher ceiling, they decided to do different and cut veteran Will Lutz for the rookie Blake Group. During a Week 6 matchup against the Texans, Groupie missed 2 field goals including one for under 30 yards, leading to New Orleans having to go for it in a 4th down situation instead of just kicking another field goal for the lead and most likely win. Groupie also missed a game winner a few weeks prior, which could have completely changed the scenario in New Orleans from a 3-3 record to a 5-1 record. The most recent Week 7 matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New Orleans Saints resulted in a 31-24 loss at home for New Orleans. Not only did kicker Blake Groupie miss another field goal to start the game, but Saints special teams and defense gave the team 2 extra opportunities to score in the first quarter, and yet the offense still struggled to score until the second half of the game. Quarterback Derek Carr has been seen multiple times yelling at coaches, which leads to who we should really be pointing the finger at. If fans can realize bad coaching, it's only so long players are going to deal with it before completely losing sight of the goal. This is the last thing you could probably want being a Saints fan, considering how they have had 2 Super Bowl appearances taken from them due to player mistakes and missed pass interference calls. While the miracle in Minnesota and missed pass interference call both happened in the NFC Championship, it still leaves a what-if question for Saints fans if things were reversed. Our current roster is supposed to give us hope, but coaching is letting us down. Nobody wants to watch their team rebuild, especially when all of the pieces needed to win are present. The best team can only be as good as their worst player, and that is truly the case for New Orleans coaches. The smallest coaching mistakes tend to show up on the field during play, and the offensive staff needs to be held accountable. As heartbreaking and disappointing things are going this season, things are still looking up in New Orleans.
Stay on the field this year in an important year. Ryan Stonehouse in the punt for Tennessee, and it's blocked! Oh boy, you get chills every time there's a block punt in the Superdome with Steve Gleason in the building. The Saints block it!